There are a lot of YouTube videos out there about how to metal growl, false chord growl, death growl, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same thing. And I'm sure there's a lot of videos out there about how to scream as well. More specifically, fry screaming. But I figured, why not? I've got a new album coming out for my industrial metal project, Arcane. And what better way to promote it than to release another how-to metal scream video. This technique is called fry screaming, or utilizing your vocal fry. What your vocal fry is it's the very tippy tips of your vocal cords, but you're actually utilizing part of your natural cords to make the vocal fry sound. One example would be, I guess you can call it the entitled teenager groan. Oh my god. Another example would be the grudge. And then another example would be in a lot of modern, for lack of a kinder word, washed up country songs, where the lead vocalist will start off, I don't know any country lyrics, can you tell? The very beginning part of that phrase, as they build up into that note, that's your vocal fry. We're gonna take that, and we're just gonna slam everything into it. Sorta. Okay, don't do that. Well, I mean, I guess you can do that, but if you hurt yourself, it's on you, not me, so. The technique itself is more easy to describe than it is to actually produce. And when you produce this type of scream, it's going to be very loud. The ideal environment for this type of scream would be in an isolated environment, because unlike your growl vocals, or unlike just naturally singing, or compressed singing, which I'll get into in a later video, this technique is very loud. It produces a lot of volume. This technique isn't easy to describe, but the best way that I can describe it is just channeling your innermost rage, something that makes you really angry, and then you're just gonna channel it through your vocal cords. So imagine yourself as some sort of superhero or supervillain. A lot of anime voice actors use this, especially fans of Dragon Ball Z. I've never watched the show, but I've seen snippets where the main characters are building up their powers or something, and they're building up that ferocity in their voice, just using nothing but sheer primal rage. So essentially, that's what we're going to pretend to do. You're just gonna build up that tone. You're gonna drive the pitch of your voice up, while at the same time driving it into almost like a quiet scream or a quiet yell, like you're yelling at somebody. And you're gonna find the spot where your voice starts to crackle without like slapping itself. You want it to naturally distort a little bit without you trying to squeeze your throat and force it. So keep doing that. And then you're going to come to a point where you can't push any more pitch up out of that. You're going to reach the limit of your volume and your pitch. And then from there, you're going to keep pushing through that rasp. And it's going to create more rasp. This style of screaming, I have personally found is a little harder to control the pitch of your distortion. You're going to be exaggerating the shape of your mouth a lot more. And then you're also going to come to a point where, as you get more experienced doing this type of scream, where you're going to want to conceal a little bit more of your natural voice. It's not going to go away entirely, but you're going to want to conceal it a little bit more behind that rasp. That way you can accentuate the pitch of your rasp over your natural voice. to go over some things that you should not be feeling. You should not be feeling your vocal cords completely slapping together all at the same time like that. That is very damaging. It's very painful. You'll know when it's happening because it's gonna hurt. You have to keep pushing yourself in a way where you're not creating any pain for yourself and trying to find where your voice starts to naturally distort. For some of you, you may get it right away. For others, it may take a while. It may take a lot of experimentation. I found that the best private place to do this was in my vehicle. Turn a song up that you like to practice to, that utilizes this type of technique, and just try it out. Granted, it's really easy to push the volume up in the vehicle a little too loud and get too distracted, so it's best to try to find somewhere to park to do it. But you do you, boo. I'm not your dad. Sometimes it helps to even go into what's called a dumb voice. I've heard that term utilized by another vocal coach on YouTube. A shout out to Sam Johnson. It helps you move your voice around, and maybe you'll find that point of distortion. And then once you find that point of distortion, keep playing with it, because it's going to start developing. It's going to start expanding for you. And this isn't going to take place in just 1 or 2 weeks. This is going to take time. You're looking at a couple of months until you can define that spot in your voice where you have that rasp comfortably accessible. So yeah, just keep putting that music on. Keep singing along to the songs that you want to be able to emulate, because it's going to help you find that technique. And then one day it's going to happen. You're going to obtain that sheer primal rage that you've been looking for. Personally, I'm prone to migraines, especially vertigo migraines. For me, doing this technique for a long time, if I do it in a certain way, it does make me dizzy. So if it makes you dizzy, you're gonna have to figure out where your cutoff point is, because you don't want to push yourself and end up passing out in the studio or passing out on stage. I'm not a doctor. Chances are you'll come to, but there's always an off chance you're gonna fall and hit your head. As I stated earlier, you shouldn't feel any immediate sharp pain. You shouldn't feel like your vocal cords are just punching each other. But as you practice this, it's going to feel raw. It's going to irritate a little bit. You're not going to want to practice for 4 hours after you just found your rasp. You're gonna want to take breaks. This is a very intense form of metal vocals, and you have to treat your voice with some level of respect. That's all I got. The links and the titles to all the songs I use are going to be down in the description below. Again, the links and titles to all the songs that I used are going to be in the description below. I'm telling you this so that you don't leave a whole shit ton of comments asking, what were the songs that you used in the video? They're in the description below.